All right, guys. Hi, Team Eagle. Happy Tuesday. It is April 30th, the last day of the month. I can't believe this year's just flying right by. And I am really excited, guys, to have our guest speaker, my personal trainer. I don't know if he's your trainer, but he's my trainer. I see him every morning. We have a date 4 times a week. And I'm just absolutely loving Lift 4. It really has brought my fitness back to life after being hurt for a while and I couldn't lift weights. And just to give you some background, I don't know who's done Lift 4, but I was going for therapy for a long time, and so they told me I couldn't do weights because I had to heal the shoulder. And so they were giving me all these exercises at physical therapy. I'm like, I can do that stuff at home. I don't need to pay them $50 every time I go there. And so a young lady, this is so important to share our journey on social media. And I posted about that. And someone said, Mickey, you've got to do Lift 4. Just don't go heavy with the weights. And so that's what I did. I put my ego in my back pocket because for years I always did really heavy weights. And Lift 4 literally came to my rescue. And so when I started feeling better, I messaged Joel. I'm like, Joel, thank you so much. You have no idea. And I know that people just bombard you with messages, but you truly changed my fitness and my journey. And I'm just absolutely loving this program. It makes me feel alive again because for a long time I was not. And so I want to just, publicly, thank you. And so I've been, every time I do little clips, especially with Mama Dukes, you guys follow me and my mom, I'll tag Joel. And, he was just, he posted, just so you know how he got here, he posted on one of his Instagram stories. He was on a team call. He's like, message me. So I'm like, so I did. And he's like, sure. And so thank you so much, Joel. Really, I know how busy you are, and I know that coaches are bombarding you with team calls, but I really appreciate you being on our team call tonight and really closing out the month of April. What a way to do it.
Right? Yeah, finish strong, finish the month. And yeah, you're right, Mickey. Seriously, this year, holy crap, it's flying by, and summit's going to be here before you know it. But that's awesome, and I love hearing your success and everybody else's success in terms of being tagged. And I love getting the tags because that's what I invented. That's what we made Live for was to do it, right? And to get it going and to help people really truly understand what it meant to weightlift and all the benefits that came with it, and also have a little bit of fun along the way, baby.
You sure did. And I love the fact that you created this four times the week. So why 4 times a week? Where did that? Because here I wait, I would go to the gym 5 to 6 times a week, and I would spend an hour and a half at the gym, and that's not happening any longer.
Yeah. So, a couple of things for the reason, a couple of reasons why we ended up with Lift 4 being 4 days a week, besides it being just a really cool name. But before we had the name figured out, it was, Live 4 is really, this program is a culmination of
Hold on.
Child running around. This program is definitely, it's a culmination of a lot of different things from my background in history and from Carl and Beachbody's background in history. And it was really, it was a perfect storm of together of everybody. So for me personally, I've been in health and fitness industry since I was 19.
We're doing.
I'm sorry about that. Guys, can you please mute yourself? Even though I'm muting you guys, I need you to mute yourself. Adawi, can you please mute your line?
There we go.
Sara, no le jale el pelo, Sara.
Adawi, I need you to please mute your line. I'm trying to mute you, but you keep unmuting yourself. I know you don't.
She's no, there we go. Okay, there we go. It's always fun there's always one, right? There's always 1 or 2 on a call. It's okay. It's all right. So okay, look, long story short, health and fitness industry since I was 19, and I've been in this business. And I know, especially in the gym world, of it being really a challenge for people to commit. And basically I thought about all the barriers and all the excuses that people have had over the years from when I was selling gym memberships and personal training and all these different things, and said, hey, look, let's go after this, right? And let's create something that is that will go after those barriers and to really get rid of all these excuses, and then also create something that is realistic in what we're trying to do in terms of results. And so it's really the first program that I think, and I think we nailed it, of creating something for the first time that you mold around your life. And, because our lives change on a daily basis. We wake up on a Monday morning with the best of intentions to work out, and shit happens. It doesn't happen all the time, right? Life gets in the way. And your fitness needs to revolve around that. If it goes the other way around, then you get frustrated and then it becomes too much, and then people quit because they say it's too hard, I can't stick with this. So that was really the biggest thing with Lift 4 and we were all on the same page with that. And with the 4 days, it was just looking at basic exercise science. I really wanted to go back to basics with Lift 4, which we did, and just how I used to train my clients and how I've trained and how I continue to train, just basic exercise science and not getting too crazy, just to not going after the people who are already working out. We're going after those 80% of the population that have all the excuses. And that's who this program was for. And all the people who say, I don't have time to work out, I don't know how to lift weights, I'm afraid of lifting weights, I don't like to do cardio. Cool, I don't either. So in comes Lift 4, where it was just straight up the hip movements, there's your cardio, and it was just looking at putting the exercise science to work and showing that it really can be simple and it can be effective and it can work.
Yeah, and I love that you said that about the cardio, because I'm with you. I'm not a cardio lover at all, and I love it's enough cardio to get my heart pumping, just enough. And so you said something about the program was created to go after like that 80% of the population that doesn't work out, and being I've been working out since I was 18, and one of the things that and speaking to a lot of women. And the bulk of clearly a lot of women here on our team call is that a lot of women are fearful of lifting weights. And
it's very true.
They're fearful of lifting weights for the simple fact that they don't want to look like a man, And so what words do you have for those women that, are on this call right now that maybe have been hesitant, like, I'm not sure, I'm like that cardio lover.
Yeah, look, I totally get it. It's a preconceived notion. And look, we all have preconceived notions about lots of different things, and fitness is one of them when it comes to. It's also how fitness has been marketed in past decades, really, of saying, and look, every fitness company, Beachwise included, we have to market things a certain way to sell it. And when you're marketing something by saying, hey, I've lost this much, you can lose this much weight in 30 days and 60 days or 6 weeks or 8 weeks, that's what creates excitement and makes people want to buy it, versus saying, hey, you can build this much muscle in 8 weeks. That doesn't necessarily sound as good. So that, people don't gravitate towards that type of sales. So number one thing is one of the things that results from how we market our products. And it's not necessarily a bad thing, but then it's up to you guys as coaches and me as a trainer to teach you and hopefully pass it on that, we want to get past these preconceived notions. In the world of weights themselves, for the majority, weightlifting came back, it really started gaining popularity back in the Gold's Gym days in Muscle Beach and Arnold Schwarzenegger. And so with that came the mentality that if you lift weights, then that's what you're going to look like, even though, that's not true. And it's not possible, by the way, naturally, for ladies to get to that point, because you don't even have the right set of hormones to do that stuff. And when you see women who are super big and muscly, that's not natural, by the way, either. I'm talking about super bodybuilder women and things like that, because it's not the right set of hormones, and you got to do a lot of different things to it. So the stigma came back in the early 60s, and 1965-ish is when the first Gold's Gym opened in Muscle Beach, and that's when it came. And I came from that world in terms of that's how I learned how to weightlift. I worked for Gold's Gym for years, so I know it, and I've dealt with it, and it really is just a matter of we have to just continue the conversations with people and education, right? It comes down to educating men and women about what the true benefits of weightlifting are, not what the preconceived notions are, but what the actual benefits are, including we change your body composition. So we might change your weight, might be a little bit different than what you expect, but we're going to shrink your inches down because muscle is more dense than fat, so it takes up less space in your body. So you're going to lose inches. You're going to increase your resting metabolic rate because muscles burn more calories for longer throughout the day versus just cardio alone. I mean, and it just goes on and on and on. So it really comes down to all these things that if you're afraid of lifting weights, number one, just take 2 minutes and Google it. Seriously, Google weightlifting benefits for women, and you just start reading. Take a few minutes and do your reading. That's how we all learn about these things. So, and I do a video. Even there's a video on Beachbody on Demand under Lift 4. It's on my YouTube page. I did all these videos talking about this stuff as well. So, you as a coach, you need to know where these videos live, whether it be Beachbody on Demand, whether it be my YouTube page, whether it be on Beachbody website, so you can forward these on to people who have the same concerns.
Okay. I missed that video, and guys and ladies, thank you so much for sharing that, Joel, because, weightlifting, for women, it's so many benefits, right? I at the age, I'm 52 now, and just recently I had a bone density test done, and my bones are as healthy as a 20-year-old. And I totally contribute a lot of it to weightlifting.
That is not 100%, but that is pretty damn close to 100% because of weightlifting. You seriously, ladies, it is most important. I just even finished writing an article today for some article through Beachbody. It's going to the UK, but it was talking about people who are aging and weightlifting and the benefits of it, why you need to it. And ladies especially, you're more susceptible to osteoporosis, which is brittle of your bones. And the only thing that will, I shouldn't say the only thing, but one of the main things that is going to help prevent that is resistance training. You have to do it to keep your bone density strong as you continue to age, like Mickey's talking about. And then we're going through it right now with my grandmother. I was just talking on a coach call few days ago about this, and then I got a text from my uncle yesterday that she fell again because she never weightlifted in her entire life, and now she's in her mid to late 80s, and she can't get around. And that's the reality of it, is because she just didn't do it. That was a different era, a different time. And for her, when she was 55, that was when you move out to Palm Springs and just golf every single day, and there was no resistance training, and now she is a product of that. And so it's so important as you get older for everybody, but especially women when it comes to osteoporosis.
For sure. So thank you for sharing all that, Joel. Now, let's talk about this new bromance that you've got going on.
Okay, let's get uncomfortable, ladies. Come on. I see a guy on here, by the way. That's awesome. Thanks, bro.
No, seriously. I mean, the marriage between Lift 4 and Transform 20, right?
Yeah.
And so because you share the fact that you're not a cardio lover, I'm just curious, how's that coming along for you?
It sucks. I hate it. Completely. I dislike it every single time I get that blasted step out of the closet and do the workout. I seriously hate it. And I knew I was going to hate it going into it, but it was something that Sean and I have known each other for a very long time, and but it wasn't until he started filming Transform 20 that we really got to kind of hang out, because he was filming here in LA, and so he and the family were here for a few months, and so we were meeting up and different events and things like that. So we finally got to hang out a little bit. We realized how similar we are, and just how much we're just both pretty no bullshit. And so we wanted to have some fun. And I'm like, and by this point I was already working on some Lift 4, hybrid calendars, because Lift 4 had already come out. And I was like, bro, once you get Transform 20 out, man, we got to do something. I think we got a lot of fun with this. And I think people would really eat it up, because no one's ever done, trainers had never done anything like this before. So I said, I think this is a really cool opportunity for us to just break the mold in a lot of different ways. You got me and you got Sean, and these are two very different creatures, yet we're very serious in what we do. So we knew we could bring that fun and that serious side to it, and just get rid of a lot of stigmas as well about what the trainers do and how they interact, and just how men interact. I mean, you got a black gay man with 2 kids, and you got a white boy with a wife and 2 cats. We just really wanted to just go after this and just have a lot of fun, and we have, and it's been great. And the programming also synced up very well and quite easily together by getting, with Lift 4. I knew I could just take the hit out. We could put Transform 20 in, and yeah, they suck. I don't like them, but it does work, and I committed to it, and I'm doing it. So it's even taking me out of my comfort zone, because that's not my type of cardio at all. And Sean's out of his comfort zone because he doesn't weightlift as much as I do. So I think it's been great for both of us.
I look at his muscles. I'm like, really, dude? You've never, really? He looks
Yeah, well, he does. I mean, he does a lot of athletic training. There's a lot, in terms of what he does from, his from Transform 20 and Insanity style workouts, and playing tennis. He plays tennis several times a week and does a lot of training around that. So, and genetics helps and what he did growing up, and like
Sure.
there's a lot to it. I mean, but but it is interesting where it's a look for one thing, but the minute you start to challenge your body and what it's not used to, like we've been doing the weights, he's been dying, and people are like, wow, like I should be able to handle the step and go just as fast as Sean. I'm like, oh hell no, because I don't do that. So it's a nice challenge for both of us for sure.
Yeah, I do have to say that I love the chemistry and I love the partnership. Seeing two of our favorite, honestly, trainers work so well together and complement each other. So I commend you both for hopping on this journey together, seriously. So thank you for that. Now, I see that you've got, and I love it, and I'm going to be definitely part of it, Lift for Summit. No, Lift for Summer.
Lift for Summer is first, and then we'll lift for Summit.
Oh, really?
Yeah. That was the coolest thing. Like one of the things when we finalized the name, I'm like, this is awesome, because I was thinking ahead of like all the things that I could do. I was like, we can lift for anything. So, and that's exactly what we're doing. So yeah, Lift for Summer starts May 6th. It's attached to a diet bet. It's attached to my diet bet, and the way I did my first diet bet with Jericho quite a few years ago, like right after Quarter Force came out. So it's like maybe 3-ish years ago. And the diet bet platform has changed a lot. And I've changed the way I do mine, since I do it by myself now, to where it's not like the diet bet game itself. Okay, yeah, you commit to it. It's $35. You buy into it, and then you have to win that $35 back. You have 4 weeks to lose 4% of your total body weight, not body fat, body weight. That's the basic premise of the diet bet. So what I also realized, though, is that still limits people who, like, I'm limiting my population of people who might want to do this, because if they don't have 4% to lose, especially if you've already done multiple rounds of Lift 4, you're like, well, I don't have 4% of my body weight to lose, but I still want to do it. How can I benefit from this? So that's where I started adding in additional hybrid calendars. This one, I bought a bunch of swag, like electronic iPads and AirPods and Fitbits and things to give away. So there's just for joining the game and participating, you can win those prizes. But most importantly, everybody who gets into the game, you get a brand new hybrid calendar, the Live for Summer hybrid calendar, which I just finished today. It's 4 weeks, and it may be harder than the Live Formation calendar. It may be. I haven't, I wrote it, and Brianne was sitting out in the living room. I wrote, I'm like, holy shit, I don't know if I want to do this. I'm looking at it and I'm a little scared. So it's going to be intense. It's going to be, but it's going to be fun, and it's going to work. And then because it's basically trying to get you shredded, using Lift 4 workouts in some Quarter Force as well. Bringing Quarter Force back into the mix on this one, and it's going to be epic. I'm going to do it too, and I'm a little scared. Okay,
so that's good. So it runs from May 6th.
So it's May 6th. It starts Monday, May 6th. It runs those 4 weeks. So I think that goes right to with January 2nd. It's easy as dietbet.com/Joel. And you can join. You have until a week after. Actually, you have 2 weeks after the game starts to join. But if you're going for that 4%, then that doesn't really help you. But you definitely have the opportunity to do it. But we're just trying to bring I'm just trying to bring different perks into it. And then I'm trying to change it every month. And this is what, we did diet bet in January and February, and then March we came in and we did, I did the Lift Formation with Sean. I'm going to come back, or April we did that. March was a success. April we did the Lift Formation. May I'm going to do this diet bet, and then June I'll definitely do some Lift 4 Summit calendar, and I don't know if that's going to go through a diet bet. It probably won't. It might just go through my Joel Freeman Fitness Facebook page. So I'm trying to change it every month. And the whole reason for that is to keep it fresh, as well as keep because again, this is not supposed to take away from anything that you guys as coaches are doing to your challenge, for your challenge groups. This is just meant to add to the accountability for your challengers. So that's why I try to keep it different every single month or tweak it a little bit. So then that way, if you have a new challenge group or you have people who are starting to wane a little bit, you can throw them, like throw this link to them to try to get them a little bit more engaged.
Okay, awesome. So May 6th, that's like next week.
That's Monday, you guys. Seriously.
That's Monday. So now let me just ask you really quick, because I know there's a lot of us here right now that are doing Lift 4. Like I'm going to start at week 4, which means that for next week, that's week 5. Would I still be able to participate in that, even though I'm just doing Lift 4?
Yeah, absolutely. The diabet is not attached to any workout plan at all. The diabet is completely separate of a workout plan. It's up to you what workout plan you want to do. If you're doing Lift 4 right now and you want to continue it, fine. If you're doing the 21-day fixed extreme real-time workouts, fine, you can do that. It does not matter. And also because the people who are doing Lift Formation, that's week 4. Starting next week is the 4th week of the Lift Formation calendar. So if you're doing that calendar, stick with that and finish that, and then you can jump into the Lift for Summer. So again, it's just trying to bring a different facet for everybody, and you just continue to do whatever you're doing and you're happy with.
Awesome. I'm in. So who's in, guys? Raise your hands. Let's see who's in. Hello's.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. Awesome. All right. So we've got. Do you have like another 5 minutes to spare?
I got plenty of time. I'm here for you guys.
Oh, thank you.
If it wasn't for the coaches, I had to go get a real job. So I'm very happy being here talking to you and having questions.
Thank you. We appreciate you, guys. If you want to have, if you have any questions, post them here in the chat. I'm also going to go into the group page to see if there's any questions there. But you can post a question here, and Joel can see if you have questions there.
Okay. You went from Dorinda, if I said that right. I hope I said that. You guys are funny in the other comments too, by the way. Let's see. Dorinda, you have a brand new client who's 65. She weightlifted in her early 50s. Would you suggest she start with Lift 4? Yeah, I think anybody can jump into Lift 4 at any time, and it just comes down. What I always tell people is to make sure, you guys have to make sure that any person that you push into Lift 4, if it's their first time, they have to watch the How to Lift 4 video. It's in the program materials. Most of you as coaches, whenever you start a new workout program, you never watch those videos. I know you don't because you're like, I've done these programs before. I don't need to, but it's a new program, you guys. So especially about the weightlifting thing, because that particular video that I made, the How to Lift 4, walks you through how to select your weight and how you should be feeling. And even though I talk about that in the workouts all the time, about how you should be feeling by the 8th rep and going into the 10th, you definitely need to make sure that they're watching that. But absolutely, I think everybody can do it, and everyone should do it. And at least, it doesn't matter what workout program or whatever else you're doing, everyone needs to lift 3 to 4 days a week for the rest of their life. I truly believe that, and I will always stand behind that, no matter what else I work on and create in my life, and Beachbody or whatever. There's always going to be that back element of strength and resistance training somehow. So there's that question answered. Danny, let me see. Joel, what have you learned the most about yourself from developing Lift 4, and what is your biggest takeaway from the testimonials for those who have completed the program? What a good question. You know what? And that's crazy. No one's actually ever asked me that question. So what have I learned the most about from developing Lift 4? Let me see. Quarter Force, I can back up a little bit and say, like, I learned so much from Quarter Force. I think Jericho and I both did, because it was our first home workout program. It was our first program being with Beachbody, and it was also kind of old school in terms of we were so tied to disc space, and we could only make so many workouts for so many discs because we had to keep the price point low. It was just it was a lot of learning, and talking to the camera is different than teaching group exercise. So we learned a lot. So I was lucky enough to have that program under my belt when going into Lift 4, and taking a lot of the learnings that we went from, we got from Quarter Force into Lift 4. And I think that really helped. I don't want to say there was nothing to change with Lift 4, but when I go back and like, now that I'm doing the videos again, because I normally don't, I just know the workouts, and so that's how I do it. But I've been doing the videos with Lift Formation. I've been watching these videos. There's honestly not much. Like, I feel, because I think we kept it so simple and so effective that there wasn't a whole lot to have to go back and change. And I think that's a testament to the program. I think it's a testament to the creation of it and to all the people we had involved at the office. Like we were just, it's just, we were all on the same page like the whole time, which almost never happens like that. So, and then what I learned is my biggest takeaway is definitely that I think to continue that success of, and for me with Beachbody and as I continue to make programs and whatever else I do is just keeping that realistic mindset and keeping it simple and effective for people, because I think that's what people need. So I hope to be able to continue that as we go. Would I recommend taking any rest days after completing one round of Lift 4 T20 hybrid calendar before starting another round? If so, how long? If you're doing Lift 4, no. There's like people ask me like, hey, I just finished round 1. How many days should I take off before I do round 2? I'm like, the weekend, and then start back on Monday, because the program is designed for that, right? With this calendar, the Lift Formation calendar, that's 100% up to you if you want to continue it with that additional, Transform 20 workout with it, or if you want to go right back to the Lift 4, that's going to be up to you. Again, I don't think I don't see a potential for overtrain if you just start the next week, because again, as long as you're following that calendar, because I took out the HIIT aspects from Lift 4, so I don't necessarily see a lot of overtraining possibilities for that. So that's up to you on that one. Lift 4 is the only program my husband has completed. That's awesome. I think we did a great job in making a program that dudes would do. I feel like I'm a dude, and when I look at other programs in the library, I'm like, I wouldn't do that because I'm a guy. I don't want to. And not to say it wouldn't work, and it's not a phenomenal program, but I'm sorry, you gotta. I mean, if you want dudes to do a program, you gotta make it make it look like guys will do it. So that was really and knowing that, because look, let me say it this way: if I make a program for women, guys aren't going to do it. If I make a program that kind of caters to guys a little bit more, then guys are going to do it, and women are going to do it no matter what. So because men are stubborn, we know that. Come on, it's okay. We don't like girly stuff, and that's fine. Let's see. Can I talk a little bit more about weight loss and lifting? Would you suggest clients who have a large amount of weight to lose should also incorporate cardio, or can you lose a significant amount of weight? Of course, nutrition is important through lifting. So if you're talking a significant amount of weight, which in my mind, significant is usually anything over 25 pounds. Anything under, and this is just me personally, anything under 25 pounds, I don't consider significant. I consider that just 6 months of bad choices. Right? Or maybe a little bit longer than that, but it's something that I think we can easily go after with Lift 4. Anything past that, I would still have them do Lift 4. They might have to modify, especially if they're carrying, because think about it, guys, I don't know, if you have a kid, that kid weighs 30 pounds and carrying that, or imagine carrying that around all day long. That is crazy. And that additional weight, 30 pounds, 40 pounds, 50 pounds. So I think one of the things is, so if we're talking significant, 25 or more pounds, 50 pounds or more to lose. And I think number one is to really go after their nutrition first. I really believe that, because that's being sedentary is one thing. You could be sedentary, and if your nutrition's on point, you'll still be in pretty damn good shape. But if they're 50 pounds overweight, that means their nutrition is shit, and you got to go after that. So I would definitely go after that. Maybe get them on 2B mindset first, get them into some sort of basic plan that gets that under control. And then once they start losing some weight and you know that they're ready to take on the next thing, then absolutely I would go after Lift 4. With that said, they may not see as drastic weight loss as they would with a pure shredding program, like Core to Force, for instance, is a 30-day shredding program. But for me with Lift 4 and weightlifting to me is more about body composition change. It's not about just trying to lose weight. I'm not after that. I'm going after changing your body composition, replacing fat with muscle for long-term consistent results, not just this 30 days or not just 6 weeks or even 8 weeks, which Lift 4 is saying, look, we want to work towards this. So when you finish that one program, 8 weeks of Lift 4, and if you go on to do something else, for instance, or if you want to continue to do it, you're not going to revert. You're not going to start to gain the weight back. And I see a lot of the yo-yoing with people when they do a cardio program and they stop and whoop, they gain 10 pounds again. They go this and they go, I want to get rid of that. And weightlifting will really help create consistency in your results. So I'd still, once you get their nutrition under control, then I definitely would suggest adding weights in. Anel, I hope that your husband has some whiskey. Nice. I love it. It's one of my favorite things. When am I coming to New York? I don't know, but I always post it when I know. So I'll let you guys know on that one. Denise loves to be mindset. How would I incorporate with this? Sometimes I feel hungry when doing weights. You should feel hungry when you're doing weights because that's your muscle's way of saying feed me. So to be mindset works great from a lot of standpoints with Lift 4. What I do tell people is if you're going to do Lift 4 is to look at the Lift 4 nutrition plan and get yourself into those calorie brackets and follow, looking at the macros and the breakdowns and everything like that, and then bring in the to be mindset mentality and key learnings and things like that. And just be careful though, because it does, to be mindset tells you to get on the scale every single day. And when you weight lift, your scale will be going crazy. So be careful with that. A couple things with that. There is an FAQ in the coach back office. If you Google Lift 4 and to be mindset, I think it'll pop up. The Beachbody headquarters did do a FAQ on that. And then also I did one of my coach casts with Ileana, and it's on my YouTube at Joel Freeman Fitness. And we did a whole thing. And we talked about combining Lift 4 and to be mindset. It was a great video to watch too. So go check that out. It's pretty cool. All right, let me see. Okay, we got people doing it. That's awesome. Loving all the comments. We got a lot of guys getting in here. This is awesome. Getting the dudes in here. Let's see. Realness. Sorry if I'm saying the names wrong. Suffer from osteoarthritis in your knees. You recommend Lift 4 for someone with joint limitations. Anytime you go into any sort of limitation, whether it be joints or tendons or anything like that, you just got to make sure that you're talking with your doctor. And my advice is to always meet with a physical therapist who specializes in those things, like osteoarthritis and joint limitations, because then what they can do is they can show you what exercises will not exacerbate the issue, but will also, you'll still benefit and be a little bit stronger. So I would just be careful with that, especially when it comes to your joints and tendons, because those things, joints and tendons suck. They're not nice. They don't regenerate. They don't heal up. Muscles heal. Joints and tendons and ligaments, once they're injured, their nerves are injured forever, and they just make you miserable. So don't make it worse. That is definitely what I would say. Did I get through all the questions? Ooh, look at that. I think I did.
You did. I do have two more that were in our group page.
Okay.
So Unides wants to know, what are your suggestions for coaches to brand themselves?
That's a good question. I like getting business questions. Those are fun. Coach, okay, what's my advice for coaches to brand yourselves? Number one, you got to know two things. Number one, you got to know what you represent and what is it about you that, like, why are you a coach, and what is it that you want to share with people? What is it about your personal story that you want to share with people? What do you think about your personal story will inspire people? And number two, you got to know who your audience is, right? So once you establish those things and you know what your story is. So for instance, if you are if you're a stay-at-home mom with two kids and you're busy with doing mom things and you've lost all this weight and while doing all this, that's your story. Like it comes with your own personal successes. Like personal success is what creates this journey that people want to follow and want to be a part of, because there's going to be other people out there that are going through the exact same thing you are, right? Where the meal prep is a problem, or this, whatever it may be. So it comes down to really understanding what you're about and what you represent, and then once you establish who your audience, then start sharing it. And there's so many people out there that the new coaches that come into this, they're like, well, I'm shy and I don't know how to do this. I'm like, look, you guys, I have never met a mother who is shy when it comes to talking about her kids, ever. Like when you start talking about it, it's nonstop. You're usually just shy when it's new, when it's different, when you're not fully competent in what you're talking about, versus me sitting right here. I got no notes off the top of my head, and just because I know this shit. I've been doing this for a really long time. I know it, and I believe it, and I know who my audience is, and it's you guys, and I know how to talk to you about it because I've been doing I've been in the business of fitness for over 15 years. And I know how to sell and I know how to create value. And my job, the way I see it, is to share all this to you. And that's how you guys have to get. It doesn't mean you have to know everything that I do. God forbid, that's scary. But it's knowing where to find everything, and knowing in your Coach Online office, there's so much stuff, and knowing in Beachbody On Demand, there's so much stuff, and you have to, like, it's just knowing where to find all these things. Like, we got the smarty pants people at Beachbody office, and the nutritionists and the PhDs that do the supplementation and Shakeology, and you got Darren and Isabel doing Shakeology, and you got all these amazing, I've been to the labs at Beachbody Performance Labs in El Segundo, and it's phenomenal. Like, there's so many smart people there. I hate it because I'm so intimidated. And they do it all. And then it's just your job to know how to interpret it to people. So it's taking the time and doing the research to know where to find things. And then once you start talking to people, is to know how to insert that into the conversations, right, at a certain point. And that means listening to the people who you're talking to, understanding what they need, and then saying, hey, look, you're having trouble with you say you're having trouble with your nutrition. Okay, cool. Sounds like you got 50 pounds to lose. So I tell you what, let's just work on your nutrition just for a month. Let's just for 30 days, just work on your nutrition. And then you start to insert either Shakeology or 2B mindset or something like that. So it's knowing the right time and the right place to bring this stuff into it. Super long to your questions.
No, I'm so happy that you brought up the performance line, because I believe it was Denise who was asking about doing 2B mindset with Lift 4, and she gets really hungry. And yeah. I know personally for me, what I started doing was drinking Recover after the strength training. Can you share a little bit about the importance of incorporating the performance line with Lift 4?
Yeah, I mean, look, here's the thing to remember too about 2B Mindset, which is, again, it's a great product. I love it. I love Ileana. I love what she's done, and she's had amazing success. But it's not about working out. It's just nutrition. So the minute you start to add in workouts, that changes everything. And so it's the same thing of trying to take a nutrition program from a nutrition plan from one program, trying to make it into the next. They're not gonna jive, you guys. So because every program is a little bit different, and the Lift 4 nutrition plan is about as basic as it comes. It's based on basic macros. It's on page 2, 30%, 30, 40, 30. It's just basic macros, which most nutrition plans are, spoiler alert. But we really emphasize protein. And the reason we do that is because when you weightlift, protein in general, not even weightlifting, but just in general, protein is the building block for muscle. That is what your muscles consume. That's the nutrient, that's the macro that your muscles consume and need. So after you work out and you weightlift, you're breaking down your muscles. That's the whole point of weightlifting, is to break them down, actually create little microscopic tears in your muscles. Don't freak out, but that's what's supposed to happen. And then it's telling your muscle to heal stronger, basically, for simple science. And protein adds to that. Protein helps it. Protein helps your muscles in terms of regeneration, recovery, and muscle synthesis. So it is absolutely, I think, imperative if you're doing any sort of weightlifting program, especially Lift 4, that you put a post-workout recover shake of protein into your plan. You have to do it. It's just, in my mind, I do it after every single weightlifting workout, non-negotiable in my book. I never miss a recover, because that protein is what your body needs. And it's really going to help with your soreness too, by the way.
So coaches, you heard him loud and clear. You're doing Lift 4 weightlifting, and if you're not on the performance line and you're not doing Recover, you need to order that like now. Okay.
Yeah. And look, I get that nowadays it's way different than it used to be back in the day, like where now you've got vegan and gluten-free and whatever else free in this world, air free. I don't even know anymore. I've never been one of those people. I never let it bother me. But if you look, if you can't do it, we have, I know Recover Vegan's coming out soon. I know they're starting with that, but then if that, look, if don't use that as an excuse. Go out there, do the research, because there's products out there that have that stuff that are vegan and gluten-free and things like that. So do a little bit of research and find the products that will still get you that protein, because that is massively important.
I think it's just 2 more questions, and then we're gonna let you go to do your thing. So I really appreciate your time, Joel.
Yeah.
So Kelly I don't know, I realize I missed Kelly's question. She wants to know, what does Joel do? What do you do on your days off from Lyft for?
Well, so I when I'm doing my workouts, like if I'm not, like, so right now I'm doing the lift formation calendar, but if I'm not doing that, I still lift 4 to 6 days pretty much. I lift 4 to 6 days a week, and I just cycle through the muscle groups. That's just old school lifting. So, you know, if I was just like following a lift forward, for instance, they would be like, you know, chest and triceps, back and biceps. I would do shoulders, I would do legs, and I'd circle back around and start over in chest. So I cycle through those. It also depends if I go, you know, I took a break from, I miss it. I took a break from boxing. I'm going to start getting back into that because I definitely miss it. I was just taking a break with everything else we've been doing because it's going so busy. So I'm going to start boxing again. So those will take up, you know, 1 or 2 days a week and getting back into the boxing gym. And so that's going to be fun. So those are my two main staples, though, is pretty much weightlifting and boxing. They're my two main things, not the step.
Not the step.
Love Sean, not the step.
I hear you. Trust me. Believe me, I know. So Danny has an interesting question. She says, if I know my husband is not doing proper form or breathing properly, how can I tell him without pissing him off or making him feel small or idiotic that he's not breathing right?
Can't. Sorry, you can't. Guys are stubborn. Girls are stubborn. We're all stubborn people, okay? The only thing I will say, because you can't be like, honey, you're doing it wrong, is, you know, you can always suggest to film, like, hey, you should film it so you can see if you're doing it right. So then they can interpret it themselves. But unless it's something that, I mean, proper form is usually, proper form, you usually have to see it. Unless you have someone there to really help you and like correct you, like a personal trainer, not your wife, because that didn't get to do it. Then I would say try to, you know, get him to film himself or look in the mirror and see about it. But, you know, good luck with that one. When I figure that one out, I might become a marriage counselor and write a book and make $1 gazillion.
But Joel, you know, in our world, right, in the coaching world, we're always asked, like, what's your why? Like, you know, what's your why? Like, what do you do what you do? So we want to know, what's your why? Like, what's your inspiration to be in this community, to be doing fitness? Like, what inspired you to start?
You know, I didn't have, like, the beginning of my why was just because I needed a job. I mean, and that's seriously how it started. When I was 19, I just needed a job work, and I got the front desk position at a small gym in Texas, and it was the 2 a.m. to 10 a.m. shift. Like, it was the shittiest shift you could ever get, and it just kind of evolved from there over the years. And where I am now with it, and the business side of it, I was good. Like, that was the thing. I was always good on the business side of it and selling memberships and running gyms, but I never really adopted the fitness aspect of it. I think I could say I fully haven't adopted the fitness side of it because I don't like kale and I don't like eating healthy all the time. And I will take a cheeseburger and whiskey and beer over a salad every day of the week if I could. But I think I'm like very realistic in fitness expectations. I think that's my why, what my why has become with working with you guys and Beachbody and everything, is to show people that it doesn't have to be complicated. It doesn't have to be scary. You can still have success in doing it and still living your life and enjoying your life and being realistic about it versus just eating kale. If you want to do that, great. And if you want, and you know what, if you eat healthy every single day and you work out every single day, then you will be super shredded and you will have a six pack, and that is awesome. That's not me though. I don't care. Like, I work out really hard. I eat as well as I can. I follow pretty much the Live For nutrition plan, which is my nutrition plan, which is just cut the crap for 6 days a week. Enjoy yourself for that one, and you're going to see results. Like, it really is. I think it really is that simple. That's just me. So that's my why, is to keep spreading that message and keeping it realistic, because I think the more real that we keep it, the more accessible it will become for more people, because we're still missing lots of people.
Yes, we do. We have a lot of work to do. And so if you can just, and we'll close it out with this. And again, I can't thank you enough for tonight, Joel. Seriously. It's the last day of the month. And there's, like you said, there's a lot of people out there that need our help, And, sometimes we've got the shy coaches that they're afraid to invite. And so what words of advice can you give them tonight to go out?
Yeah. Look, it is scary putting yourself out there when you put it's fear of rejection, right? Like it's being scared to invite someone and them saying no. It's just the same thing of like, going and asking somebody out and them saying no. It's fear of rejection. We all go through that. And then on top of that, you are with a company where it is a network marketing company. With that comes preconceived notions about what network marketing is. So there's an uphill battle a little bit when it comes to that. Same thing with weightlifting. We have preconceived notions about that. But for you personally, if you are developing consistent habits and you're sharing that consistency on your social media, people are watching. These people that you invite are watching that, and they may say no today. But if you're staying consistent with it, because most of the time they're just thinking that like it's a fad for you and then you're going to drop out on this in 30 days or 60 days. But if they start seeing you being consistent with it, they're going to be like, oh, wow, this is actually legit. And then, you never know what the time could be. It may be 30 days, it may be 60 days, it may be a year that they finally come back and they see that. But they're always, people are watching. They're going to say no. But they're gonna go back and they're gonna watch your posts and they're gonna see what you're doing because they want to see if it's legit or they want to see if you're just bouncing from MLM to MLM and trying to sell products. So is just being real with it and not trying to sell them right off the bat, not trying to sell them Shakeology or get them as a coach or anything like that. Just saying, hey, look, I've noticed that you've just been struggling a little bit. Just would love to help you. Free challenge group. That's what the challenge groups are for, right? Free challenge group. Get them into it. And just, take that fear away. That's marketing thing 101. And when I was doing marketing for Gold's Gym was take the fear away, get rid of all that fear and help them understand that there's value to this, that we do work for Beachbody, which is the ultimate solution company when it comes to health and fitness. I truly believe that. Otherwise I wouldn't be here. And and then make them understand how that's going to work for them. But don't be scared of, hearing no, because usually, especially when it comes to this stuff, it just means not right now. Doesn't mean no forever. Just means not right now. And so and then you just be like, okay, cool. Tell you what, I'm gonna hit you up next month. I'm gonna hit you up in 3 months. Just don't be afraid of that because you're gonna get a lot more no's than anything else. But it just comes to having those conversations.
So it sounds to me, and I hear the word here is consistency. We just need to be consistent, guys, in our journey and just share it consistently through our social media platforms so people can see that, Janet is the real deal. She shows up every day. She's not trying to push a product or, push a sale. So thank you.
And look, guys, that's what I do. If you follow me on social media, which if you don't, shame on you. People ask me all the time, like, well, what do you really like outside your social media? I'm like, you guys, this is me, man. I post pictures of me with beer and burgers and this is my life. And that's it. That's it. And I think that being real and consistent in your realness, I think people will appreciate it in a world of social media, which is all fake AF stuff anyway. I think people are starting to really get more drawn to that realness now.
Yeah. And, and speaking of consistent, and there's one thing that I've noticed, and we'll close it out with this, is that children are very consistent. When they want something, children are so consistent and they'll just keep asking and asking and asking and asking. And so we have here on our call a very consistent little young lady who's going to be a future coach. And she's been trying to get your attention, Joel, because I can see her. I see her trying to get your attention. Her name is Madison.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm going to unmute Madison. Madison,
oh, Benny.
What do you want to show Joel?
Go ahead, babe.
They can't be all shy now.
She's actually looking for the picture she took with you on the cruise, and she wanted to send it to you via Instagram. So she's looking for the picture, and she wanted to show you that she is also a cat lover. She has 2 kitties.
Okay.
So she says,
I think I have. Hold on. I think I have a cat. Hold on. Let me get one. Hang on.
"You wanna go get your kitty?" Uh-oh, she wants to get. Thank you, Mickey. That was.
Here's one of mine. Here we go.
Max said, look at the kitty.
He just woke up, so he's so pissed at me right now. So.
Okay, she's coming. Look at the kitty. Look at his kitty. Oh.
There you go.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you, Mickey.
Let's do a selfie, and then thank you so much again, Joel. I know on behalf of the entire team, we're so thankful for you taking the time to spend with us. So let's do a selfie. We have, all right, we have 3 screens. All right, say cheese, guys. Give me your best side. Oh my goodness, my ring light. Ah! Here we go. 1. All right, next page. 1, 2, and 3. All right, guys. Thank you so much, everybody. Joel, thank you so much, and we will see you soon at Summit.
Absolutely. Thanks, everybody, and better see y'all at Summit, everybody. And I think my workout is on Friday morning, so register.
All right.
All right.
Good
Thanks,
night.
everybody.
Hey, bye.